Now tuned in to Hip Hop Revival.
The Hip Hop Revival.
Out to Hip Hop Revival.
Are you checking out Hip Hop Revival?
Time to Hip Hop Revival.
Yo, what's going on? It's your boy Nick Bass with Hip Hop's Revival. And today I got none other, a very special lady, and I'm gonna allow her to introduce herself.
Hey, it's Tamika Dennison, aka Mama Wopo, the mother of, what is his name? Trayvon Jimmy Wopo Smart. How y'all doing today?
Yes, we're so happy to have you here today. And you know, I've been following your campaign and seeing what you do, and we really appreciate how hard you've been going. Your son, he got a lot of fans, and they will be happy to receive everything that you've been doing in your son's name, you know, allowing his legacy to live on.
For sure, for sure.
So for those who may not know you, for those who may not know your son, explain your son's legacy.
Okay. So my son, again, is Jimmy Wopo. We were from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, born and raised, him and me. So he was a local rapper in that city, but he, in a very short time, grew very big. You know, he's an internationally known name. I kind of took over the platform he created once he passed away. Tragically, he was shot, gun violence. Someone murdered him. And till this day, we haven't figured out who killed him. I don't think they're even trying. They don't care. But he did something great. You know, he had a dream, and just like most young black men, they start off pretty rough, and he made some mistakes. He was only 21 years old when he passed away. He rapped always. He probably started when he was 6 or 7 years old rapping. Yeah. And I think he really started taking it serious probably about, 15, 16 years old. And by the time he was 18, like, his name just like really blew up. And even at that time, I don't think he really understood what he created, because he was never, he wasn't a big-headed. He was just like really humble. He just had a big heart, and it was fun, and he always had an entourage of friends when he was little, so he just had even more friends and more fun. So at first, that's how he's seen it, and then over time, probably the last 2 years of his life, me personally, him being my son, I can see him maturing, and his mindset was changing. He was trying to get out of situations that he created, before he really seen what the music could do for him. So he was like making music with people that he had beefs with before, and like really he has a lot of music. Wow. And when I listen to his music now, I'm forever even it's 3 years later, and I still find stuff that I never heard before. I'm like, this dude stayed in the studio, and then also he made music with any and everybody. Wow. He wasn't big-headed, he wanted to make some music. I meet so many people still to this day, they're like, yo, I was in the studio with your son, and then I'm like, oh, that's what's up. He's just, if you came and asked, and that's how I feel like, just come and ask me. If you ask me, I'm not weird. Only way I'm gonna say no is if I just totally can't do it, it don't fit in. But most of the time, even if it doesn't fit at that moment, we're like, well, what can we do, to make it work out? So I think he's very much like me in a lot of different ways. But yeah, he did something great. Wow. He really did to me.
Wow. Now let's talk about that, because you said he has been rapping since he was about 6 or 7.
Yeah.
I actually saw an interview where he said that you were the one to discover his talent.
Yeah.
How did that go? He said that you just called the radio station and just told them, hey, my son rapping or something. I'm gonna let you tell the story.
So I think just my family, period, we're really talented. Actually, we didn't even talk about the concert, we'll get to that, but my family we're musical, we cook, we dance, we do everything. Okay. Like, we're so talented. So I sing a lot, I play a lot of music, and I think they just picked that up from being in the household with it. But he would always be rapping or ripping, his little raps. So I would always call the radio station, and I always win stuff. And they had this thing, our radio station in Pittsburgh, our black radio station is Whammo. Okay. And it was like, it's your boy J. Cruz from 106. If you got flows, let me know who's this. Okay. So I was like, you want to do it, Trayvon? And my main purpose of doing it is I wanted them to hear himself on the radio. Because they'll play, you do the recording, then you wait a couple minutes, and it'll play back. And he did it. He did his little, we called in, and the only line I remember from his little rap, the last thing he said was, kill that cat. And Jay Cruz was like, oh, it was hard or whatever. And what I didn't know, I watched the interview later, is that I didn't know when he went to school, like the next day, people was like, oh, I heard you on the radio, you know, so that made him feel real good. I just wanted him to hear himself, like, you know, on the radio. So yeah, because I just knew he could, you know, he is ready. He was like, he wasn't shy or nothing. He was just like, for real, you gonna call? Oh, I ain't never do it. And he's so little. And we actually was in the car. We were driving somewhere. It was summertime. I remember the first time I heard Elm Street on Whammo, as you know, when he was an adult, and I called him immediately, and I was like, yo, you know what would be cool if Whammo still had when you were little, and you did your little rap on there, because now they're actually playing your music on the radio. But it had changed hands a couple times, so they didn't have it. And I messaged him when I was like texting him, and he was like, well, you don't even know when I was like, dude, you was this age, it was this time of year, I don't know exactly which one it was, but I love it was hot. He was like, how do you remember all that? I said, I don't know.
That's your son. You remember
like
things.
I remember it. It was a special little moment for us.
Wow. Well, I want to ask you, tell the fans something that his fans might not know about him.
As hard as his music is, he's a crybaby. He's a crybaby. He's spoiled. He wants everybody to do everything for him. He never was a bully, but he definitely wasn't a punk. You know, like he never was a punk. He goes 0 to 100 real quick, but he's pretty laid back. You know, I think if you bother him or something, then he might flip out on you for the most part. But he's never been shy. I guess people can probably get that from his music. But yeah, all that hard music, he's truly a little crybaby.
He got like one of them cult type of followers, you know what I mean?
Definitely, you know, it's because he built his fan base organically.
Yeah.
He started young, and my youngest son actually, when he passed away, he was 12. And he was so emotional. I can remember him walking around the house and he was like, I'm gonna do it. So he's been rapping himself since 12, baby Jway. He's 15 now, and he's doing his little thing, you know, like he's definitely talented. I remember it took about a month for me to even pay attention to what he was talking about, you know. And he just kept saying, take me to the studio. And finally, I was like, in my mind, not saying to him that I was like, you're not a Jimmy Wopo, you know. That's not what you're gonna do it. So I took him to the studio, and he made his song, his first little song, and the producer was like, he does things that 30-year-olds, like his ad-libs and stuff. So I was like, okay, then all right, well, let's go. You know, I think it was very therapeutic for him. I think he had his best school year that year. He made honor roll, so it made him proud to honor his brother.
Wow.
You know, so he really felt like he was holding it down for him, and he still is. He still is. So I was happy, and it gave him an outlet. You know, he could talk about what he's gonna rap about, what he felt about his brother. And it also allowed us to be together a little more, because he's my baby. Like all my other kids are grown, so it's kind of like me and him. So we got to be. We needed each other. You know? So that was our little bonding. Wow,
that's dope. So let's talk about Wopo, his upbringing. Like, was he a kid to get in like a lot of fights and stuff?
He actually was a very good baby. Elementary, he was the line leader. He was the teacher's pet. They loved him. And then I think about 7th or 8th grade, he went crazy. That's when he flipped out, and he was no longer the quiet little Trayvon that got honor roll and straight. He was very smart. And I can remember probably a year before he passed away, we were driving and talking about baby Jway, about school and stuff. And he told me, he was like, yeah, you know, I remember I used to love school. He said, I loved it until the numbers turned into letters. He said, because I never, and it hurt me because, you know, I'm a single mom, but I'm a high school and college graduate. I own my own home. You know, like I always was a grinder, and I'm big on just like being a law-abiding citizen, working a 9 to 5, you know, providing for your family, straight and narrow, stay out of trouble. That's how I like try to raise them with morals and respect. And when he sat in the car, he was like, you know, I never seen myself being no doctor or none of that stuff. So I was like, why did I need it? He's like, that's when I stopped liking school. I felt insulted. I'm like, you've been watching me all these years. You could be whatever you want to be. You know, I'm a certified pharmacy technician. So, but at the end of the day, I'm a woman. You know, so he has no male role models that he's seen being a doctor or a lawyer or whatever. So that's when, and that's middle school. You start algebra or whatever. So he started getting a little bit crazier. And he also aged out on football. So once he aged out, he wasn't into school no more, so his grades weren't that great. He was like, oh, he was doing so much stuff. He was breaking back in the house. Like, I leave him to work. He's fucking pushing excuse my language.
Yeah, oh, he good.
He's like pushing the air conditioner out the window and back in the house. He's just doing, doing all this. So he didn't have the grades to play in high school.
Okay.
So it was just that kind of, because I think that kept him disciplined and that gave him something to do.
So he played football in grammar school?
He played for, all my boys played from 5 to 13.
Okay, wow.
They all played football.
Okay.
Yeah. I think he's probably the only one who didn't play basketball, because my other boys play basketball as well. But yeah, once he aged out of that, and then what I didn't know about school, why he didn't like it no more, because when he first started getting in trouble, it was like he would get done with his work and then start messing around.
Okay.
So he did complain like the work's too easy. He was really like really, really smart.
Yeah.
Street smart, book smart, just too smart. He's ahead of his time. His name as a baby was Old Man. We call him Old Man because he's just a old soul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And real talk, book smarts translate over to being successful in the music industry.
Okay.
Because a lot of people don't even know. You gotta learn how to build bridges and not burn bridges, and it takes some smarts to do that. But let's talk about his upbringing. Well, not upbringing. Let's talk about Wopo's, what he does for his community. When you say about football, like he's been involved in a lot of youth programs and stuff like that. Like, why did you think he felt compelled to do that and give back the way he did?
Well, he grew up in it, of course, so he can see himself. He wasn't far from the age, he's only 16, 17, 18. He's still going to the games and watching it. His friends are probably the kids that are playing is his friends' little brothers and stuff. So it's kind of like family. We're all from the same community for the most part. And just being in it all those years, literally 5 to 13, that's a long time.
Yeah.
To play in the same league, it was the same people coach. He went through each coach and they all followed him through his whole little career. So coming from there, having all your friends, and then now you're a teenager and the same friends that you played with, y'all are beefing, y'all killing each other and stuff. So to know where you were and then see where you're at and have a bond to your community and know these people personally, I think it's like he felt a responsibility to save those kids. Like he didn't want them to have to deal with the stuff that he was dealing with, because he was in his, and he knows exactly when it changed, because it was his life. So I guess he was like, well, I'm gonna try to keep these kids loving each other and liking each other and give them a little bit more outlook on life and show them that you could be anything you want to be, because they see him. Like a lot of kids now, first of all, they think I'm 80. I see the little kid, and someone's like, that's Jimmy Wopo's mom, and his face was like, Jimmy Wopo's mom? And I'm like, yeah. He was like, you ain't old, or something. And I started laughing. I said, well, how old do you think Jimmy Wopo's mom would have been? He said 80. So, and they always be like, he had a whole bunch of money, didn't he? And I'm like, not really. so seeing them on TV and it made them even feel like, whoa, I know Jimmy Wopo, like Jimmy Wopo's from where I'm at. And I know some, like a young man, when he passed away, his mother, she's from Pittsburgh, but they moved to North Carolina. Okay. Came all the way back, and she was like, once her son started listening to Wopo, he had some issues in school. He started doing better. So when I heard that, I never agreed with Trayvon's lyrics and his music, but I respected his consistency, his determination. I respected his work ethic. But I will always be in his ear like, yo, Kendrick Lamar is one of my favorites. So, so we, I was like, hey, you listen to some of Kendrick's stuff? And he's like, yeah. I was like, why don't you try to, say different things? Or we always had those conversations. Okay. But, he would remind me that and this is what people don't understand too. Jimmy Wopo is a character. He's not the person. Right. He's a character that he created that people like, and he would tell me when I talk about his music, this is what they want, because he says some things in his music like the Elm Street, I ain't never had Christmas. My mom go crazy. He's 20, 21. My mom's like, I still get that nigga Christmas gift. So she's like, people are going to believe that. Yeah. And in his mind, he's like, this is make believe. Right. And I would always be that little person over here, like, you think it's make believe, but some people really take what you're saying so serious. They think it's all real and it's not fake. So it's like, I'm 50-50, it's a crazy, it can make your life better, but it also can destroy it all at the same time. Yeah. I know what he did, what he went through to do what he did was definitely worth it, because even still after his death, he's influencing and empowering young black kids. They love him, they see what he did, and they are doing better because of him. Just knowing where he came from, it makes it different when you know exactly where they came from. It's like, man, he come from, he just like
we could do this too.
So I get to see it up close, personal, real life.
It's like he passed the baton.
Yes, yeah, and that's I just try to keep. That's why I'm so involved. And I also have a 15. He was 12. I have a little kid still, so I got to keep him straight and narrow as much as I can, and try to navigate him. And he brings a lot of young kids with him. So I'm like, my purpose, to me, it seems like, is for me to be involved with these kids.
Yeah.
And they listen to me, you know.
That's good.
I was like, if they listen to me, I need to be telling them the right stuff.
Yeah, that's respect. Yeah. So you all are getting ready to celebrate your son again. Like, tell us, what does that entail, and are you ready for it?
So this is our second annual Jimmy Wopo Celebration of Life concert. We did our first one in 2019. Of course, COVID canceled last year.
Wow.
We so I started this. I really didn't know. So when he passed away, you know, we started Baby Jway rapping. We kept the merchandise going, and I was like, but I just felt like I had to do something else. Like, there is something else I can do to keep his legacy going, to help people within it.
Yeah.
And one day I was like, you know what? I'm gonna give a concert. I don't know where the hell that came from. Like, give a concert.
Good idea.
I love singing in the shower and around the house, but I don't do this crap. Like, I'm a professional in other ways. Like, I have a great business background. I own several businesses.
Okay.
So I had that foundation. So I think that helped me tremendously with him. But we started doing it. So what I do is I start pretty early. We have auditions. We usually start auditions probably about March. We do a roll call for auditions in March. We have auditions in April.
Okay.
And from May up until July, we work with the artists once a week. We practice with them.
So where are the artists from? Just local?
They're all local artists.
Okay.
We do bring a national act in to be our host. So in 2019, the comedian Mike Epps was our host.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's my guy right there.
I love Mike Epps. Like, he's so down to earth. He's a cool guy. Definitely shows my family and my son a lot of love.
Wow.
And it's so crazy because, you know what? My whole house from days, we always been stone cold Mike Epps fans. So it's just like, you know, like, that's cool as hell, because we've been loving him forever. He showed us so much love. So that's that good karma.
Yeah.
You know, that was a blessing.
Yeah.
So he did that. And then this year we have Young LA from Atlanta. He's coming up and host a show for us. So those are things that I sometimes have challenges with, because I kind of got thrust into this. You know, I didn't ask to be into this, but I'm not afraid. So I'm mostly trying to network and meet people so that I can do more. I don't know how far it's going to go or how long, but we're practicing right now. And it's so good for local artists. So, you know, everybody think their songs are hard, they're the best, they do everything great. I teach them things that no one will ever tell them. They'll just take their money and run off. So we book studio time for them. A lot of rappers think rapping over their track is cool. It's not professional.
Yeah, it's not professional.
So we teach them about, you know, taking their vocals out, even when they're with the producers. And I'm still learning, because I get thrust into this. When you're talking to producers, and they're local producers too. So I don't know what school they go to. But everybody has some lingos or some understandings of things that they don't express when they should talk about it. Like getting your stems and having them tracked out, and things like that. So we teach them about stuff like that. And then I just critique them. Someone said, one of my little guys this year, he was like, you got any more criticism? And I'm like, yo, bro, I enhance. I just love music. I grew up on music. I used to be like the karaoke queen. Like, I used to love singing. I used to be like, nobody discovered me, yo, I was hard. But if you don't use it, you lose it. That's real stuff. So I have an ear for it. I really have an ear for it. And I used to point stuff out too. I can remember one time Trayvon was in the car, and Usher, 2005. I can't remember what album that was, but he had a song on there, one of the last song, and the beat was so crazy. And I was driving, Trayvon was laying in the backseat, and I was like, listen, You hear how that drop? He never made any noise, but he just listened to me, and I just kept pointing out things to me. So I know that I have something that God gave me that can help people. And it's so, to me, I feel like a proud mom because it's such a transition. They come in, and they are good. I pick people because they're good. We have tremendous talent in Pittsburgh, but they just need a little polish, you know? And they need, some need a little more confidence. It's all, everybody has their own little quirky thing. But from May and then seeing them on stage in July, like it's beautiful. I record everything. I'm gonna do a documentary on that. But I'm a proud mom because I see them even every week. They come back, you know. One week we had a guy last week. He came in and he sings, but he was singing like kind of like a church mouse. And I'm like, bro, and they're not. I put them on a big stage. So Stage AE is like a big amphitheater in Pittsburgh. This year we're having that Soldiers and Sailors, which is another huge like museum auditorium type place. So they're used to performing. Yes, they're used to performing maybe something like this or maybe even smaller. And I'm like explaining to them these speakers in there. You know, this is a big area. It's going to be really big. Like you gotta. So you know, he wasn't happy with me, but he came back just yesterday, and I was proud. He was singing. Because I told him, I said, when you go home, just you don't have to be in key. Just sing loud. Walk around the house, be loud. Tell people you're practicing, whatever. He was like, okay. He was like, I can't sing loud. I was like, you're straining your voice because if you sing louder, it's easier. But yeah, he made me proud, and that's only 1 week. I still got a couple more weeks with him. So it's that makes me feel great, and I know when they go away from me, I don't know, everything won't stick, you know, but I know there's something that they're going to take from me. Last year, the couple of folks from last year, they actually sent me emails, you know, thanking me. Even like the music to me is a carrot. They thank me for life experience because I'm like a mom. I hold them accountable. I know that's right. I cuss them out nicely. You know, you prioritize, you plan, and you communicate. You have to communicate. If you are not going to show up, don't not show up and not communicate. Communicate that you're not showing up. You know, so just those type of things. And they get used to me. At first, they be kind of. They ain't used to it, you know, and I'm loving though. And I'm not mean. I'm just stern, you know, when I need to be. And they respect that.
So when is this event again?
It's July 18th, Soldiers and Sailors in Oakland. It's a regular show. Doors open at 6. Show starts at 7. It's over at 11. This year, though, it's a little bit jazzier. We have a fashion segment. We're going to have a DJ battle. We have a comedian. I'm going to be performing.
What you doing? Singing, rapping?
I had an opening song for the concert. Now I can talk about Nina Ross. So Nina Ross is my cousin. We're honoring her this year. She was a rapper from Pittsburgh, local. She's been deceased now 11 years. She died in a house fire, but she opened up for like Snoop Dogg. She worked with Juvenile and all them, and it was a tragedy that she passed away because she was actually, you know, about to do some big things in her career. So this year we're honoring her along with Jimmy. So yeah, so it's I don't know. I don't even know how to explain it. It's like super exciting to do that. And I've had this opening song, and I said, you know what? Her son raps. So I was like, well, we're going to use her son to do her verse. And then she has a twin brother. His son sounds like my son. He sounds like Jimmy. Like sometimes when he raps too, he says little things. So I was like, all right, we're going to do this. We're going to have them, you know, we used like Wopo songs and my cousin songs within the verses. And they wrote their verses. I picked the beat, you know, but not me. I'm not even going to take all. I'm not going to take all the credit. Ray Love, let's put his name out there because he's going to get crazy. Shout out Ray Love, picked the beat. He came up with the concept, and then he kind of went away. That's a whole nother story. But I continued with it. Once we went to put the song together, we had not discussed the hook. And I told one of the little cousins, do the hook. It wasn't sounding like my energy was here because of who we're representing. And I said, you know what? Come on out. I'm going to just do it. So we did the song, and it came out so good. I was like, you know what? We're going to do a concert announcement, music video. And I was like, and then there's his mom on there. They're going to go crazy about that. Rock with that. But people think it's like a song. It is a song, but it was just a concert announcement.
Okay.
That's it. I ain't got no career.
Okay, that's cool.
I ain't making no songs.
So, hey, you
none of
doing
that.
the song in honor of your son.
Yes.
And they gotta respect that or check it, you already know.
Yeah.
So tell us about the merch. I see the Wopo shop.
Oh yeah,
Have to put me in order.
So we kept it going. He already had, like, this is his logo.
Okay.
We did a few new ones, but mostly we have his original type logos. We have a website. We don't have a brick and mortar just yet. Down the road, though, we're looking into that. But if you go to www.longlivewapo.store, we have men's, women's, children, different little Sneak Gang, Jimmy Wopo, Big Pimpin'.
Okay.
You get you a few different things on there.
Okay.
And if you want to, actually the concert this year, I didn't bring it up, it's going to be live streamed.
All right.
So you can go to Jimmy Wopo, longlivewapo.store and purchase tickets to watch the concert anywhere in the United States, and I don't know where else.
Hey.
If you want to tune in July 18th at Soldiers and Sailors.
Y'all heard it here first, man. Y'all make sure y'all go to the store, man, and get y'all merch, and y'all make sure y'all buy the tickets too. So I know we got the announcement song coming out, but when is that, Jimmy? I know you got a lot of unreleased music that y'all sitting on. When is the mixtape or album or something coming out?
That's a very good question.
Okay.
I'm wondering too.
Okay, wow.
So Jimmy had a lot of different things going on,
Okay.
A lot of people involved in things, and when he went away, I had to step in, you know.
Okay.
Some folks didn't want me asking questions, so they excused themselves. I work with Empire, but I wouldn't even say I work with them because I don't think they've even talked to me in the past year, but they do have a project of his.
Okay.
They've released one song from the project.
Okay.
I believe a couple other folks from the city, prior to my knowledge of whose song was whose, had dropped maybe one or two songs off of that project. But we've never even sat down to discuss, you know, what's still usable, you know, what is it? It's just like, just threw me in a closet and closed the door. There's no responses. And that's one project that I know that I actually have the contract for.
Okay.
There's also a Jimmy Digital somewhere, I guess a Sony Digital. I've never talked to him, but I got
Jimmy and Sony Digital have a song?
I think they have a project.
Wow.
They have a project because Jimmy Digital was advertised.
Okay.
Like coming soon, Jimmy Digital, and I also got a phone call this year, beginning of this year, saying one of the songs from the project was being dropped.
Okay.
And I need to take it down.
Whoa.
So I got it taken down, but I'm like, so where's this project? So people know things, but they won't tell me, and then that's why I always say they're holding it hostage.
Okay.
Because they won't give it, they won't talk to me. And I'm not trying to stop anyone from anything. He has 3 children.
Okay,
so
right. You
they
want
have
to pump
to be,
that music.
They have to be taken care of daily, which I do help and assist in that
For sure.
from what, you know, I do for my son through his merch and everything. But I also set stuff aside for their future. They know, God willing, they make it to 16 and want a car, get their driver's license, you know. Maybe they want to go to
college
school.
and all
Yeah.
that.
So I put money away. I'm a big miser. So I save for them as well, but I also help their moms with their day-to-day living.
Yeah.
And for someone to not feel as though that's something they should do for his children is very disturbing to me.
Yeah.
But I don't let that stop me. I'm not going to worry about it. In the beginning, I was like, I was making myself sick. I ended up with blood clot in my leg, and my blood pressure was high. So I just, I made the decision to only worry about things I can control today. Because it's his music till the end of time. So if they hold it, they hold it. If they give it, they give it. I'm not going to worry about that. We just going to keep on doing what we're doing and creating new. Jimmy Wopo is not the end. He's the beginning.
For sure.
You know?
So, hey, man, y'all got that music. Y'all make sure y'all tap in with Miss Wopo, man. You know what's going on. We need to drop ASAP, man. Sony Digital, man, you already know. You in the tap in, bro. Drop that music. Let's get it. But as far as business, since we've been talking business, what other business moves are you working on in your son's name or just personally?
As a family, I have 5 children total.
Okay.
2 sons over Trey, I call him Trayvon, over Jimmy, and then 2 under him. So my 2 oldest sons, we kind of started we did. We started a cleaning company. And when they were small, they were 3 amigos because they always were together, slept together, everything. And we made I actually thought it was something so great, not just even for my family, just for other young adults to see. I used their picture of them, 3 little black boys. I used the kid ones, and we made cartoons.
Yeah.
So that's our logo. And my son is like he's the front man. I do all the behind the scenes. And it's in honor of Trayvon, you know, because there's some things that without him being who he is, we probably wouldn't have the opportunity to do. And so we do everything in honor of him. Because we already know if he was here, we would have been doing everything. I've always been a business person.
Yeah.
He's talked to me like before he died, like, yeah, Mom, I'm going to do that business thing with you, this, that, and the other, we're going to do that. So we're going to still do it.
Yeah.
And his picture's on stuff, his name is on stuff. We just keep him involved always. Wow,
that's a real mama right there. So, how do you feel about your sons, like people that he once at one time considered friends, like trying to hate and tarnish his legacy now that he's not here?
I don't think they were ever friends.
Yeah.
So I'm a tomboy my whole life, and I'm still a tomboy, and I've done things.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I used to do things, so I was kind of boyish, and I have street code.
Yeah.
There's certain things you don't do. I'm not big on trusting people. You got to show me.
Yeah.
I don't listen to what you say. And from just being in that lane at one time in my life, when I see certain things from people, you don't pass, So to me, they never were true. And if they ever were, it's sad that to me, they had a jealous spirit somewhere, and they allowed that, because that's the only thing that, to me, if you really rock with someone, you should rock with them.
Yeah.
I'm not a wishy-washy. I either rock with you or I don't, and I tell you.
Yeah.
I don't. You don't have to guess about how I feel about you. I'll tell you, and then that keeps us straight.
Yeah.
We know how to deal with each other or not.
Yeah.
And when I seen that, they don't talk to me.
Okay.
They tell me because I'm honest and I speak truth. I'm a little weird, or once they said they don't know how to take me. I'm not slow. I guess that's why you don't know how to take me, because you can't fake me.
Okay.
You can't fake me, so you don't know how to take me.
Hey, real talk.
But it's all good.